Background for Edgar Allan Poe. He was an early 1800s poet. He was renowned for his dark and clandestine poems and other works of literature. Edgar lived in England for a brief amount of time at the age of 6. He later returned back to the United States to study. He attended the University of Virginia in 1826. Unfortunately, he started drinking and quickly became in debt. Fortunately, 5 years later, Poe received a job as a newspaper editor after winning a competition. 4 years later, Poe married his cousin Virginia Clem. They moved back to Richmond, Virginia, where Poe would devote his work to poetry. However, his cause of death is still unknown till this day. So we will now read and discuss about the poem Annabel Lee. So let's start. It was many and many a year ago, in a kingdom by the sea, that a maiden there lived whom you may know by the name of Annabel Lee. And this maiden she lived with no other thought than to love and be loved by me. I was a child and she was a child, in this kingdom by the sea, but we loved with a love that was more than love, I and my Annabel Lee. With a love that the winged seraphs of heaven coveted her and me, and this was the reason that, long ago, in this kingdom by the sea, a wind blew out of a cloud, chilling my beautiful Annabel Lee, so that her hinds-born kinsmen came and bore her away from me, to shut her up in a sepulchre in this kingdom by the sea. The angels, not half so happy in heaven, went envying her and me. Yes, that was the reason, as all men know, in this kingdom by the sea, that the wind came out of the cloud by night, chilling and killing my Annabel Lee. But our love it was stronger by far than the love of those who were older than me, of many far wiser than we, and neither the angels in heaven above, nor the demons down under the sea, can ever dissever my soul from the soul of the beautiful Annabel Lee. For the moon never beams without bringing me dreams of the beautiful Annabel Lee, and the stars never rise but I feel the bright eyes of the beautiful Annabel Lee. And so, all the dark night tide, I lie down by the side of my darling, my life and my bride, and her sepultured there by the sea, and her tomb by the sounding sea. Symbolism, which will be in the following passage. It's portrayed in this passage below. But our love, it was stronger by far than the love of those who were older than we, of many far wiser than we, and neither the angels in heaven above, nor the demons down under the sea, can ever dissever my soul from the soul of the beautiful Annabel Lee. Now, the symbolism is shown in the highlighted text below. So, the sea represents the mysterious, vast personality of Annabel Lee, and the angels in heaven above represents the good-imaged angels who are still jealous to possess Annabel, and the demons are essentially the ones that killed Annabel. And the demons in the sea have a correlation because the sea and the demon is what has caused the death of Annabel Lee. Now, it's really interesting because Poe connects human feelings to nature, which is very uncommon in poetry, but common in Poe's work. Edgar Allan Poe repeats Annabel Lee, which conveys that he is emphasizing how he wants Annabel Lee desperately. A correlation between Annabel Lee and Evening Star shows that they both use words relevant to astrology, such as star and heaven and space. This indicates that these two poems are dedicated to the same person and comparing their love to an out-of-body experience. Just like the evening star, Poe's word choice connects to how the reader perceives and views things. Just like from these quotes from Annabel Lee, the wind came out of the cloud by night, and also stars never rise. Poe also uses the seas and stars to visualize the openness of love and compassion towards the audience. It does not undergo a drastic change, but it does go through a series of negative emotions. Throughout the poem, Poe expresses it in an insidious and revengeful fashion. He begins with a questioning tone. Then, as the poem progresses, he becomes angrier and angrier. This passage is the essential transition where Poe questions himself and he becomes angrier. The mood for Annabel Lee shows vengeance and determination to win a loved one. This also affects the theme for Annabelle Lee, which is that true love conquers all and it can withstand oppression from outside forces.